Muss doch auch ätzend sein, um im Verborgenen zu leben. Das Brennholz war ordentlich gestapelt und glatt geschnitten. Der Holzhacker muss stark sein. Einige Holzscheite im Boden des Stapels haben angefangen zu faulen. Es muss schon ein Walde hier sein und das neues Holz auf dem Stapel gelegt wurde. Der Holzhacker? Wie hackt man so gerade, Alter, und so ein großes Holz? Ich meine, schau mal hin, das ist fast so groß wie ein Typ. Gaming ist witzig, hört euch das mal an. Okay, das müssen wir jetzt machen. Gaming? Wo ist Mr. Gaming? Mr. Pro Gamer. Hä? Ah, da. Daten. Stimme.
Hey, boss. The name's Gaming. I'm a guard from the communications office. So, all this needs shipping, right? No. You grab a seat and have some tea. I'll get these packed up for you, no problem. It'll only take me a minute, then we can get the delivery scheduled. Oh, and if you ever want to book a wushu dance, me and my crew are available in a heartbeat. The troupe's called the Mighty Mythical Beasts, and I'm the head. Not to brag or anything.
Alter, scheiße, der wirkt einfach komplett nervös oder so, oder fertig. Was machen wir jetzt? Da hinten. Ja, das Tagebuch lassen wir einfach hier liegen. Dachziegel waren kaputt, Mama und ich konnten sie nicht erreichen. Zum Glück war Papa zu Hause und hat es sofort repariert. Beim Abendessen hat der Tisch ein bisschen gewackelt. Papa hat versucht, ihn zu reparieren, aber stattdessen hat er das Tischbein gebrochen. Papa vergisst wieder Dinge, ich muss ihm helfen, sie aufzuschreiben und sie ihm vorzulesen, wenn es ihm später besser geht.
Traveler, Paimon, come quick!
Achso, das war die Schlange, denke mir, zur Hölle, wer ist das jetzt? Hat der ADHS?
Chung and I found a hidden compartment. This is what was hidden inside.
Die Aura der Überreste von Göttern.
You sense it too? You're right. This is a poison concocted using god remains. Is it? Breathing? Paimon's not seeing things, is she?
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this bottle is alive.
Lebendes Gift? Also wie Schlangen halt.
Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother and minor loads, capable of sustaining a connection over vast distances.
Was für ein Ding und was sind Derivaten?
If it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with,
Zutaten,
then
oder
both
was?
the poison in Jialiang's system and this one here are likely minor loads. Offshoots, essentially.
Offshoots? So, the main body is somewhere else?
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition. Similarly, the poisoned individual will hear, to a varying extent, the call of the source.
The call of the... Wait. So, back when Jialiang ran off, maybe that explains where he was heading!
Ins Jinzedorf.
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as the poison's key ingredient. The...
This is getting crazier and crazier. What kind of person would do all this just to poison Jialiang?
Ja, aber nicht die sei Frau, oder?
Hey, why has everyone gone quiet all of a sudden? Since this poison was carefully hidden away in a secret compartment, the one who concocted it is likely a resident of the house.
Bestimmt der kleine Junge.
You mean Jialiang? Why would he poison himself? Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who lives here, and who might have expertise in crafting drugs.
Ey, sorry, aber der Blick vom Traveler ist so, du widerst mich an, dass du da nicht beim ersten Mal drauf kamst. Puh.
Huh? So you're saying it was Jiang Li? Wait, but that doesn't make any sense either. Why would she poison her own husband?
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang Li does not strike me as the kind of person who would do such a thing.
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue have the ability to concoct a poison from god remains?
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jialiang about it once he has made more progress in his recovery.
Hast du ein Mittel gegen das Gift gefunden?
Yes. According to the origins and symptoms of diseases, the minor loads will disappear if the mother load is purged. So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave Jialiang's system without the need for any further treatment.
Also wie bei Vampiren. Tötest du einen Hauptvampir, werden die anderen wieder normal.
Do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa Village?
Ich höre nur Geschichten. Frauen sind die klassischen Vergifter. Motive gibt es da mehr als genug, haben mir Krimis und Criminal Minds in zahlreichen Folgen beigebracht. Ja, meine Mutter hat auch immer gern so mit CSI und keine Ahnung, was nicht alles geschaut. Oder Autopsie kam ja damals auch, wo du dann... Ey, sag mal ehrlich, wenn du das alles zusammennimmst, was da gibt, kannst du wahrscheinlich das perfekte Verbrechen machen. Ja, Geschichten.
Even the history books have no record of this. The only ones who'll know anything are those old fogies who have been hanging around here since the beginning of time.
Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything about this?
Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events are long gone from her memory by now.
Oh.
Whoa, what? After a contract? Share life force? Sounds like some pretty spooky sorcery if you ask Paimon.
Wann ist Laternenfest? Leider erst am Montag. Ich dachte, es kommt heute schon im Stream. Oh ja, ich müsste meine Überschrift ändern.
hey, plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me. With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier, and able to eat whatever you like with no risk of upsetting your stomach.
Stronger and healthier? Wow, that's amazing! Baiju, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign the contract with Changsheng for a few days.
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament. None of her hosts have ever been exempted from these rules. I fear that I will be unable to accommodate your wishes, Paimon.
Temperament? Hey! What are you trying to say? Did you just subtly insult Paimon to her face?
Früher habe ich mal gehört, dass Baishu nicht sehr gesund ist. Und da ihre Meister schon gestorben sind, kann ein solcher Pakt wirklich die Lebensspanne verlängern. Ach so, er ist eher
You're
fragil.
getting ugly nicknames, both of you! Baiju, you're Mannequin Man! Changsheng, you're just a pain in the neck!
Pain in the neck. Warum schreiben die dann weißes Band?
This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you woefully unsuited to being my host.
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand. Is there any way at all for us to seek counsel from the Adepti about this?
With how antisocial they are, if it were up to them, they'd go their whole lives without showing their faces to the common folk.
Vielleicht gibt es wirklich einen.
What?
Ja, wir kennen 3, Alter.
Seems you're as well connected as they say, traveler. We are truly fortunate to have you on our side.
Oh, if you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
Ciao, seid ihr da?
You called?
Warum hat die Paimon so ein Problem mit ihm?
Gets Paimon every time.
Are all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh? It's you.
Baiju of Boo Boo Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly, I was unaware of your true identity. I must apologize for the discourtesy.
Huh? You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before. I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me?
Ich denke, es wäre besser, es euch zu sagen. Ich möchte also die Götter fragen. Du zuerst schau, was passiert ist.
So someone has been concocting demonic poison.
Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. It is lamentable. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Chinxa village. A vile monster known as the Ch once wrought havoc over this land, before it was subdued by Rex Lapis. The land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Chinxa village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Ch is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate further to identify the location of the leak.
Ach so.
I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, be sure to call my name again.
Danke, ciao.
Nothing. I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Farewell.
Welcher Auftrag ist das? Von dem Beischuh ist das der Legendenauftrag.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them.
That's Shell for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some concrete info to go off of.
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips. If we can find the cave...
Master, there's a problem.
Gwei? Did you run all the way from Boo Boo Pharmacy?
Alter, das ist ein ganzes Stück, Mann.
What happened?
Der ist gut trainiert.
Don't panic. Just catch your breath and tell...
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly took a turn for the worse.
Already? How? Based on past experience, he should have been fine for the next 3 days at least.
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Boo Boo Pharmacy now.
Hä, sollen wir nicht die Höhle finden? Ja gut, dann gehen wir halt erst zurück.
Dad, what's wrong? Dad?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baishu will be back soon.
How is he doing?
Dr. Baishu, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier, but then he suddenly started coughing up blood. Now he can't even get a full word out anymore.
When Gwei left, he was still conscious. But now...
Gui, please take Jiaoliang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will cure your father.
Das hast du ihm vorher schon mal gesagt.
Baishu's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he? Is there really no other way to save Jiaoliang?
Oh, please don't worry. Dr. Baishu will find a way.
But...
Chichi, die Kokosziege. Ganyu ist die Kokosziege. Chichi will nur die Kokosmilch. Wo gehe ich eigentlich hin? Was mache ich eigentlich jetzt? Ach, warte bis morgen. Kann ich das hier eigentlich auch machen? Nee. Was haben die eigentlich immer mit 8 oder 10? Das ist irgendwie immer dasselbe, ne? Oh, das ist cool mit dem im Hintergrund. Schön. Schön. Oh, wir stehen da schon.
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere? You're not gonna suddenly collapse again, are you?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling much better. In fact, I can't explain it, but somehow I feel even better than usual. Wait, where's Dr. Baiju? I still haven't had a chance to thank him. Seems he moved me here before I came to.
Keine Sorge, liegt irgendwo zusammengebrochen.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired from treating me for 2 nights in a row. I don't know how I can begin to repay him for saving my life. I'll have to discuss it properly with Jiangli once we find her.
Ey, ich habe die Namen nicht auseinanderhalten können. Ich habe vorhin die ganze Zeit gedacht, die reden über uns selber. Der heißt ja Jiang Liang und die andere heißt Jiang Li. Ich habe immer so, hä, warte mal, was? Irgendwas stimmt da nicht.
Speaking of which, has there been any word of her whereabouts yet?
Erst beim Haus habe ich gecheckt, dass das bei 2 unterschiedliche sind, wie ich es gelesen habe.
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll go check with them again in a bit.
Die sind in der blöden Höhle, Mann.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jialiang. I strongly suggest that you stay and rest at Boo Boo Pharmacy for now. I can accompany Ayu to the Adventurers Guild.
I suppose you're right. I'll have to rely on you this time. Though, on the bright side, this means I can thank Dr. Baiju in person once he's finished resting.
Traveler, Baiju hasn't shown his face ever since he went in to treat Jialiang again. Do you think he...
Gehen wir zu ihm.
Huh? Hey, wait up!
Dem geht's nicht gut.
You're finally awake? That was far too risky. Even with me here to help you balance your chi.
There was no time. I had no other choice. In any case, it was not completely without benefit to myself. Jiangli's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn from. Alas, if only there wasn't a catch.
So, how much longer do you think Baiju's gonna nap for?
They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Shall we at least go and show our faces?
All right.
Surely he hasn't. There's no way he could have just...
Who's talking behind our backs again?
Ah! Baiju! Changsheng!
Alles in Ordnung?
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer a rather large amount of life force on this occasion. But, with Changsheng's help, I will recover in time.
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so soon?
I made an error in my initial diagnosis. Jialiang is in fact suffering from more than one ailment, and as a result, his life force depleted at a greater rate than I had anticipated.
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd still be sick?
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is there precisely because it is being used to manage his underlying medical condition. Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of coughing up blood and fainting, and in the longer term causes irreversible damage to the internal organs.
Bilde ich mir das ein oder bei so Schlangenaugen? Ich glaube schon, ja.
Though it was created from God remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case. Rather, it's his medication.
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
Deswegen hat Jiangli.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and the poison accumulated in his system, it began to impact his cognition. Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiangli had to concoct ever greater quantities to ensure its continued efficacy.
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse, and why his mom went off to gather herbs.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many times Jiangli has exposed herself to them. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jialiang's life, Jiangli has abandoned all regard for her own safety.
I never suspected that even Jiangli would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. Perhaps this is the inevitable course of fate.
Tja, Liebe halt.
To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible. Whatever the cost may be.
Schicksal.
Well, I think that it's too early to say with any certainty what fate has in mind. In any case, I have stabilized Jialiang's condition for now, so our immediate priority should be to get ourselves back to Qingsa village and find out where Jiangli is. Her regular exposure to God remains over such a long period will have been catastrophic for her health.
Tut er dann mit uns belauschen oder steht er da einfach nur?
And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
Wer ist da?
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baiju.
It's Jialiang! Don't tell Paimon you overheard everything already.
Dr. Baiju, please let me come with you. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put yourself at risk for Jiangli's sake. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be of much help in battle, but at the very least, I can show you the way. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herbs. I'm sure I'll remember. I have to remember.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise, putting further pressure on your heart.
No! We're out of time! We have to go now. Right now. Before I forget everything again.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real possibility that you will not return from it. Are you sure you're prepared for that?
I never expected to live this long in the first place. My death is already long overdue. So why should I fear it? There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well. Then follow me.
Ist das jetzt die neue Lauschecke oder so? Alle kommen sie zum Lauschen da an der Stelle? Chichi ist da und startet die Luft.
Dr. Baiju, are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual formula? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen, and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet.
Dr. Baiju, Do you mean?
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time. You don't want to burn yourself again.
Okay.
Oh, dachte ich schon, hä? Halt.
Everyone, please be careful.
Jetzt fällt es mir erst auf, hier außen sind ja auch solche Fächer. Die sind aber nicht sehr breit, die Fächer, ne? Wenn die... Also die Wand ist nicht sehr dick, ne? Da können nicht so viele Fächer drin sein. Ich kann nicht aufhören, über Architektur zu meckern vor den Spielen. Haben wir erst bei Episches Fantasy gemacht. Da haben wir so, wie baut man sowas eigentlich? Junge Luo. Ja, wäre jetzt auch komisch, wenn der Alte stehen würde. Eine extra Portion Gras für die Medizin, ja. Ein bisschen kiffen. So.
That strange feeling is back. It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside me is trying to guide me somewhere.
Gibt's Cannabis in Genshin? Irgendwo bestimmt.
The Motherlode's
Oder was
influence is
Schlimmeres.
growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer to the source? Or because the leakage of Che blood is growing more severe? Jialiang, can you sense which direction the source is in? I think it's this way. Yes, I'm sure of it.
Ey, du, wenn jetzt auf irgendeine scheiß Höhle gehst, dann der mir sowieso vorbeikommt, wenn wir hierher laufen, ne?
I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way.
Wie baut man hier hinten eigentlich ein geheimes Haus? Ich meine, du brauchst so echt einen Haufen Material, um das hier um die Ecke zu schleppen.
This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
Echt, Alter, ihr musstet da eh vorbeilaufen und ihr wollt mir erzählen, das habt ihr nicht gesehen?
There is an inauspicious presence here. Even I can sense it. I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay? Maybe you should rest here while we continue the search.
No, I have to keep going. Jiangli is still waiting for me. Then let's hurry.
Vielleicht aber der Reisende schiebt sich lieber merkwürdige Pilze rein. Ah. Ich find's immer lustig, wenn immer so, oh, wo ist das? Wo finden wir die Sachen? Und dann ist die Höhle halt 5 Meter weiter.
This place gives Paimon the creeps. Who knows what we're gonna find up ahead?
The digging marks here appear amateur and rather old. I suspect it is a thieves' tunnel.
A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors about treasure around these parts before. Maybe it was the treasure hoarders that dug this tunnel.
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly a possibility. But why did they abandon this place without even stopping to pack up their tools? I remember now. She took me here once and told me that she'd found a way to save me in this cave. But she said that the method would cause me to, Easy, Jialiang. Come on, let's keep going.
Vielleicht wegen einem bösen Einfluss? Hä? Oh, ich hab den Typen jetzt.
Illusion shattered.
Das war jetzt easy.
Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
Kein Staub auf der Oberfläche des Rauchgefäßes. Spuren von frischer Verbrennungen auf der inneren Oberfläche. Das gehört nicht zu den Schatzräubern.
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
A monster repelling incense? You sure? 'Cause we did run into that group of monsters just now.
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were enticed here by some entity deeper inside the cave. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what prompted the treasure hoarders to flee and abandon their designs on this cave. After them, Jiang Li was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside. But to her, it presented an opportunity to save Jia Liang's life, albeit as a last resort.
That's right. This sensor, it belongs to Jiangli. Yes, this was the place. This is where I told Jiangli to give me the poison.
Jialiang!
I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel it. She is right below us, waiting for me.
Rauchgefäß, ein anderes Wort für einen Bon. Ja, die schlimmsten Kiffer, die waren ja sowieso die in Sumeru. Die haben sich ja gleich aus dem halben Jahr aus dem Leben gekifft, ey. Mit ihren Visionen und Aranara-Zeug und alles.
I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
Alter, was ist hier los? Geht doch nicht so weit, ne? Na, ich muss es direkt hinbewegen. Oder auch nicht. Wendy ist der größte Säufer, das stimmt. So mehr, das ist die größte Plantage für Bewusstseinsveränderung in Genshin. Ja, das sowieso, ey. Also das war ja... Ich meine, du kommst kaum in Genshin an und findest schon eine total zugedrungen in irgendeiner Höhle. Oh, ich sehe überall rosa Elefanten. Oh, falscher.
Justice is blind, so bow your head. Fight.
Torn to oblivion! Ha!
Was ist mit Fontaine? Die sind klagesüchtig. Hä? Ich will das aufmachen, warum kann ich es nicht benutzen? Hä? Ach so, das ist kein Ding, das ist nur ein Verstärker. Nadeln uns ist naja, keine Ahnung. Inazuma, gute Frage. Oh, da vorne ist das Zeug. Ist sie da irgendwo?
Jiangli!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back.
Let the mighty be humbled.
Stimmt, Fontänen dürfen nicht gewaschen werden, ja. Die lösen sich bei 60 Grad in der Waschmaschine auf.
Dr. Baiju, how serious is it? Is she...
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life, I fear that she may never wake up again.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains right away!
It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember what Baiju said? The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricably linked to the god remains here. If the source is purged, the poison in his system will stop having any effect.
And the poison within Jialiang's body is keeping his heart condition under control. So, if it stops working... Oh no. Are you saying...
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come to an end.
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to save Jialiang's life! After all that, we can't just give up on him! Baiju, you're a great doctor! Surely you gotta know of some other way we can save him, right?
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiangli, maybe if we put our heads together, we can think of something?
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness. Maybe it's her greatest wish that you will continue to take it, and
Dr. Baiju, give it to me straight. How long does Jiangli have?
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But if I were to treat her using a secret art...
Willst du wieder?
But what would be the point of that? Dr. Baiju, I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. You are not the first to mention it to me. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiangli have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, but I would have to live with the looming threat of these remains breaking out and wreaking havoc not just upon me, but my entire family. I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around to see how you grow up is already a great blessing from Rex Lapis. If my choice can bring Jiangli back, then even if I die...
Jialiang...
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've grown somewhat addicted to life. Traveler, Dr. Baiju, could I have another minute with my wife? I just want to have one final moment together. Just...
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that I won't be able to repay your kindness in this life.
Jialiang, Baizhu, Changsheng, is there really nothing else you can do?
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for less conventional methods, I have little expertise besides Changsheng's secret art.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were so easy to combat the natural processes of aging and death, Jiangli would not have had to resort to unnatural methods.
What a crazy situation. Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life, and now Jialiang has to sacrifice himself to save Jiangli.
Das Einzige, was wir jetzt
What's the point of it all?
Das Einzige, was wir jetzt tun können, ist Zeuge des Entschlusses von Jiangling zu werden.
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. Is it not a fitting end to die for a worthy cause? At least, that's what generations of masters before you have always believed.
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly sacrifice themselves for others, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took me all the way to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. And he even got the Adventurers Guild to search for you. So, I know that you'll both be okay without me. I've said my goodbyes. My time has come. Do what you must.
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay with you and watch Ayu grow up.
Mom, something's really wrong with Dad. Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away. I promise you, nothing will happen to our family.
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live, the tighter we cling to what we have. Oh, how I would love to hear your voice one last time.
Hä? So, wie kommen wir jetzt hier hin? Hä? Nein! Warum? Das ist das Ende! Was? Alter, ihr wollt mich doch jetzt komplett verarschen, oder? Alter, ihr scheiß Penner, ey. Jetzt muss ich in den Auftrag gehen, damit ich den anderen beenden kann. Jetzt, wo ich mich endlich dazu entschieden habe, den Auftrag zu beenden, damit er nicht mehr im Weg ist, ist er am Ende der andere Auftrag im Weg. Das ist doch ein Scheiß, Alter. Ey, ihr wollt mich nur verarschen hier, oder? Ey, die Genshin-Fuzzis müssen echt mal schauen, dass sie da was machen. Siehst du, ihr seid schuld. Ihr habt mich dazu überredet, das fertig zu machen. Hätte ich doch gleich das gemacht, was ich eh vorhatte. Einfach anfangen und dann mit der anderen Quest weitermache. Ist dann die Hutao die, warum ich das nicht machen kann? Weil Chichi war dabei? Haben sie ab jetzt nimmst du es aktiv an oder nicht? Sonst kann sie nichts mehr blockieren. Ja, aber ich hab's ja angenommen. Wieso wir? Ja, nee, warte mal, Tamara war es bloß, wo gemeint hat, dann mach doch den Auftrag. Oder kann ich das als Details? Nee, muss ich. Hätte ich doch das gemacht, was ich immer mache.
Remember the first time we came here? We even brought offerings and everything. And when we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated, she immediately threatened to squash Liyue Harbor. Paimon thought she'd be impossible to get along with. But now that we've spent some more time together, she's really not like that at all. We probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Still, Paimon's got some snacks around here somewhere, so if she really wants something, we can just use that. Huh? Traveler, did something catch your eye?
Da ist jemand, den wir nicht kennen.
Whoa, what a pretty lady. Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer?
Es wäre sie auch eine mächtige Adeptin.
Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. As expected of that bird lady, really. She must have a whole bunch of Adepti friends from all over the country. Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association, right? Want to go up to her and say hello?
Ich überlasse es dir, uns vorzustellen. Macht sie sowieso.
Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's job as your reliable guide. Paimon's got this. Hello. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Traveler. Sprich einfach einen freundlichen ruhigen Ton.
Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're also friends of Cloud Retainer. May we have the pleasure of learning your name, Madam Adeptus?
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has a shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
Alter, du warst ein Scheiß gerade nicht vorher. Wie soll man dich erkennen?
Wait, you're...
Die Fürstin selbst?
Huh? You're the illuminated bird? But you look... human! How did that happen?
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion, one merely had no reason to indulge such inclinations before.
So, you're indulging now because...
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip is simply a way to make matters less conspicuous.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place. In fact, Paimon can think of several examples. Like last year, when you suddenly appeared on the top of a roof without any warning. Or...
Die Fürstin scheint ihre Gründe zu haben. Möchte aber nicht so freimütig darüber Auskunft geben. Fast hätte ich ja vergessen, Paimon hat auch ein paar Geschenke für euch.
Hey, didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
Oh? So you have taken care to follow the proper rules of etiquette after all. Most commendable.
Es kommt halt trotzdem voll raus, auch wenn sie eine andere Stimme hat. Ohne es so wirklich zu gelingen, versucht die Fürstin eine gleichgültige Miene aufzusetzen.
Well, Scott, you don't mind, right?
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts. On the contrary, it is the gesture that one values above all else. So long as you've shown proper respect and consideration, the quantity or quality of the gift is but a trivial matter.
That kinda makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Anyway, where were we before you reminded Paimon about the gifts?
Die Fürstin sagte, sie werde einige ihrer Schüler besuchen.
Ah, right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe. It's also been a while since we last saw them. Maybe we can come too.
One planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see you again. However, one would first inquire as to the reason behind your visit here. You have cause to seek one's company?
Das ist nichts Bestimmtes.
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We were hoping you'd tell us one of your stories. Who knew we'd run into your human form while we were at it?
Is that so? If there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still working at Yuehai Pavilion, so that shall be our first stop.
Sounds great! Then let's